Hey Gen Xers, did you hear the news? James Dobson died. And when I think of this, I just think James made the world a better place by no longer being in it. For those of you fortunate enough to not know who James Dobson is, let me bring you up to speed real quick. If you were a conservative Christian's kid in the 1980s, you probably had quite a few spankings or downright beatings because of that man. And if you were gay in the 1980s, it was probably even worse for you because of that man. Because Jimmy Boy was really big into conversion therapy or beat the gay away. He's probably a big part of the reason why the Conservative Party in this country crashes Grindr whenever they have a convention. Because a lot of these people thought it was shameful to have these thoughts about the same sex. So they either pushed it away or they became really outwardly violent towards people who were that way. I would not be at all surprised if he made Lindsey Graham who he is today. But he wrote all these horrible books like Dare to Discipline, and to him, discipline meant corporal punishment. It meant beating your children. He popularized the idea that beating your children was not only necessary, it's godly. He wrote several of these books like Beating Up Boys, Bringing Up Boys, Temper Your Child's Tantrums by smacking the shit out of them. Preparing for adolescence, now you get to use your fist. He was just an all-around, flaming bag of dog shit. And for those of you who did not grow up with this shit, let me give you a taste. From his book, Dare to Discipline, the spanking should be of sufficient magnitude to cause the child to cry genuinely. How many of you were spanked with a switch or a belt when you were growing up? And if you know what a switch is, then that was probably James Dobson at work. And he had the absolute nerve to call this loving discipline. In one of his books, he described beating one of his dogs with a belt to establish dominance, and then he tried to use that as a metaphor for parents to discipline their children. He spread the idea that homosexuality was due to bad parenting. It was mostly due to distant fathers or overbearing mothers. And he was one of the first voices on the right to say that being gay is a choice that children make. As far as women, yeah, he hated those too. He said that they needed to be very submissive and their role in the home was to be there for any of the man's needs. You wonder what he meant by that? I'm sure you get it. He used to say things like, if you want your wife to stay with you and you want your son to turn out to be heterosexual, then you need to let them see you being a man. Even though he's gone though, his books and his teachings still live on in a lot of parents, which is frightening. When I first read that he died, it reminded me of this quote that I once heard. I would never wish death upon a man, but I have read some obituaries with great enthusiasm. And that just sums it up for me. Today, the world is a slightly better place now that he's no longer here. Rest in peace, James.